two brothers raised by the same family with the same set of motivators, even under the same mental health labels. And yet, the results are varied.
He's really into math, and I'm not.
They were very different right from the start. Peter was a very precocious young man as a baby, and then into elementary school years, he was reading way ahead of time. He was very interested in academics. Michael had a harder time with school. He had a harder time learning how to read. He had many sensory sensitivities as a baby, and so he was a very different child to raise.
This despite both boys sharing the same diagnosis of Asperger Syndrome.
I understand that I have more limited social skills than most people, but I can stay more focused on certain topics than some people can.
Right now, Michael is focused on computer sciences and math, excelling in an independent learning environment. Peter is more focused on where his studies will take him, and that means a different understanding of his diagnosis.
It sometimes means I have trouble finding a job. That's what it means lately.
Peter's dream job, writing music for video games, but like many musicians, he needs a steady day job, and it can be tough to explain Asperger syndrome to a potential employer. He's worried it's about to get harder now that those with Asperger's are being lumped under autism spectrum disorder.
People have all sorts of expectations of what autism is, and Asperger syndrome is probably the least known version of it.
Asperger's represents a part of the autism spectrum that can be highly functional in the academic and working worlds.
Gave us kind of a profile of a typical person and how to cope. And I think it also gave an identity to employers, to social workers, to support workers, and to people with Asperger syndrome as to who they were.
The worry is that a larger category creates confusion.
Extending from those who are really highly affected, who are nonverbal, who are rocking in the corner, to those who are quite able to function as university professors or as, the geeks in the computer world, looking at Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Steven Spielberg.
Michael and Peter offer an example of how different two people with the same diagnosis can be. Still, having a narrower focus has helped them and those around them recognize their potential.
I think in a different way from most people, and that means I see things and realize things that other people don't. So I'm useful, basically.
And he's not alone.
It's always been nice, throughout all the stages of my life, to have a brother who thinks in similar ways, and we understand each other very well.
Support is available for children and adults with Asperger syndrome, and despite changes to the diagnostic manual, Asperger Manitoba will continue to exist and offer support to families. You can find more information on its website at asperger-manitoba.ca. For Go Winnipeg, I'm Kim Kasher.